Hey everyone, I've been doing some experimenting and playing around with villager job refreshing in 1.16, and I had some couple ideas I want to make a quick video on. I'm in version 1.14 right now. You can see 1.14.4 Optifine. In this version, it's pretty easy to get villagers to take different jobs. You can put job lots, and villagers that are relatively close will take the job, and they don't need to walk to it, and they'll get it from pretty far away. And you can have multiple villagers um, take different jobs pretty easily. But for some reason in 1.16 they did away with this mechanic, and it's much more obnoxious. So here we are in version 1.16.1 here, and the way villagers gain jobs in this version is a little bit different. So a lot of times you'll be looking to put down a barrel for a fisherman to do cod bucket strats in 1.16, because if you kill the iron golem and get bucket, flint, and steel, you still want your iron pick, so you could potentially get 3 emeralds and trade for a bucket here. But the way the job mechanics work is they don't always pick the closest villager. A lot of times it actually prefers to pick further away villagers, and so you might end up getting a villager from like 40 blocks away to take this job instead. And if they don't get the right trade, you're just going to be here for a long time waiting for villagers to get this. So that's the reason most speedrunners opt not to do cod strats for villages in order to get their iron pick, is just because refreshing the jobs can take a really, really long time. And if you need your 3 emeralds for the bucket and you have to do a trade with the farmer, it doesn't take too long to get wheat with a hoe, but refreshing the job block for the farmer can also be pretty obnoxious if they don't have this wheat trade. It can take you like 4 or 5 times replacing this job block to get the right trade. So altogether, it ends up taking too much time, so most people skip it. But I have figured out an okay method at getting one villager to restock their job. So you could technically do this for a farmer and the fisherman and do cod bucket. But the first step does take a while. And if you already get 3 emeralds from like a chest or something, then you just have to do this for the fisherman a few times. So the idea I came up with was you get kind of like a corner on a ledge like this, and you go up here to this side and you dig 3 down and then put your job block at the bottom there. And then you're going to want to put a block on either one of these two. And it's going to take a while for the first villager to come here and accept this job. I think maybe it's that guy. So at this point you could go like kill the golem or task overlap, get more food, do something like that. Maybe trade with the farmer. But most villagers will try to avoid 2-block drops like this. So villagers that are not going for this job block will likely avoid this. Sometimes they fall in. But villagers that are attempting to get this job block like to be close enough to it to work. So they're going to fall into this pit. So what you do here is you just place 1 more block above him, block him off, and then we're going to dig 2 blocks for ourselves. And we can block ourselves off like this. So we can still see out, but villagers won't be able to path inside this little area. And from here, you just need to mine 1 upper block on a diagonal and 1 lower block on a diagonal. It doesn't matter which. So I'll do this one and this one. And then you can just get your job block and keep refreshing like this. Oh, sorry, you have to put it on the low ground. So you just put it on the low ground, see if you have the right trade. Here it's instant, but if you don't, you'll just keep replacing it. And the same villager will get the job over and over, because there's no other way another villager can path to it from here. So we're blocked in here and the villager's blocked in there. So it doesn't take too long, and if you can task overlap the first part of this, it's pretty quick to set up after that. And lastly here, let's just say that you really need to do a cod bucket strategy. It's going to take a while for the jobs to refresh, but let's say you have a lot of wheat and you want to make both a farmer and a fisherman. You can make both of their jobs refresh on 2 different villagers. We could do kind of the same idea here, where we put 1 job block 3 down and then put a block there. And then you can actually do a second villager by going diagonal, and you'll stand in between them. So you do another 1, 2, 3 and put your second job block there. It's going to be a little difficult. You're going to have to wait. So that one's already done, but you're going to have to wait for another one to come and claim this one. But we do a pretty similar idea. Come on, man. It takes so long sometimes. So yeah, go kill the golem or something like that. So again, so we trap that one and we trap this one. We go down this time, instead of just going down 2, we could go down 3. And then we'll do, this one's going to be 1 higher from us now, so it's going to be a bit more awkward. But we could still refresh this job block from here. He's just above us. And then this one, we still do one diagonal lower and one diagonal higher. And you can refresh this guy like this. You'll have to make sure they're blocked off in the right places and no other villagers can get in, but you can permanently refresh the same villager without having to wait for them to claim the job blocks. I also just realized this might be a little more difficult in desert villages, which desert villages are pretty common in speedruns because of desert lava pools, but you still do this, you just have to worry about the sand and the gravity blocks, but ideally the pathways in desert villages are made of smooth sandstone, so if you can ideally find a similar configuration made of smooth sandstone, then it'll make this a little bit easier. So you could potentially do the same exact thing where you do 1, 2, 3, put a job block there, and then you'll have to worry about some gravity blocks here, but you could do the same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, and then put that down. I don't know if there's enough villagers in this village, but yeah, I think there are. So you go 1, 2, 3. So we have to cover these guys with non-gravity blocks. So we'll do that and that. And then this guy, because of the smooth sandstone above him, is still fine. So we kind of have to replace this with a non-gravity block, but we could still replace this guy's job block because those are smooth sandstone. This guy, you have to replace this one because the two on top have to be non-gravity. So you do that, and then we could still do the same thing here. A little more awkward and might take a little bit too much time, but you know, you can get the hang of it eventually, something like this. So yeah, there you go.